Okay, Sarah, I'm going to mute you too. Just because it's weird, like with Zoom, it gives weird feedback if there's more than one person, um, on. So if you guys have anything you want to say, feel free to unmute yourself. But for right now, I'm just going to mute you so that way there's no feedback. Okay, so I am Emily Burgess, and I'm so glad to see you. Amber Mosher up there in my right-hand corner. She and I were roommates back in Arkansas, and she is one of our newest ambassadors. I've been talking with Amber for 2 years, a long time, and she finally said, okay, I'm interested, I want the products, and I'm maybe a tiny bit curious about the business. So I'm so glad that you're on. And Sarah, she just signed her very first ambassador today. So congratulations. You're going to be getting earrings from me. I hope you like long, fashionable things. If not, you've got a Christmas gift to give to someone. Okay. Here we go. We've got 2 other girls that are going to jump on in just a minute. But how many of you guys, well, I'm not going to ask this. I don't want it to be awkward. When you go to church, the pastor's there like talking through the Bible, but then when he starts on a story, you see a lot of people kind of like pay attention, right? Like stories bring people in. And that's something that a lot of people will say within Plexus, that stories sell, which I hate the word sell because we're not selling. I'm not a salesperson. You guys aren't salespeople. We are sharing about something that has helped us or is going to help us. But they say that stories sell. And so tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 women share their story. We're going to share our story of how we started our business because all 3 of us started at different paces. I started saying, okay, I'm going all the way to the top and I'm going to go fast. And so I'm going to share with you what I did from the beginning. Then you've got Hannah, my sweet friend here, sitting in her minivan. She just had a baby just a few days ago, so glad that you're here. She went a little bit slower. She wasn't really quite sure. She was totally sold on this idea. So she's going to share a little bit of her idea. And then my other friend, her name is Joannas. She's going to jump on in a minute too. And she was very slow. She didn't have social media. She was a homeschool girl. I'm not going to share all of her story, but we're all just going to go at different paces and tell you what we did. So I hope that you guys brought a pen and a paper, and I want you guys to take some notes. If you resonate with me wanting to go really fast, Hannah or Joanna going a little bit slower, write notes, because here's the thing. This business is like stupid simple. It truly is. I mean, it's hard work, which I'm very thankful for, because before I started, my husband and I would talk about it. I'd be like, oh, it's too good to be true. Like, what? This is stupid. Like, this is too good to be true. And so I appreciate that it's actually not. I appreciate that it is hard work. It makes me proud of what we get to do. Regardless of it being hard work, it is simple how you do this business. So I promise you that between Hannah, Joanna, and myself, all 3 of us probably are doing the exact same thing or started doing the exact same thing, but just at different paces. Okay, so I'll tell you very quickly my story. I said no to Plexus for almost 4 years. My girlfriend sent me samples in the mail, and I threw them in the trash because I just assumed that they were some sort of like, I don't even know, like weight loss thing. And I just assumed it was probably full of chemicals. And I knew that the best way to lose weight was through working out and eating healthy. And so I didn't trust it. So I said no to her for like 3.5, 4 years, but she continued to be very patient with me. She was not pushy at all. She made me feel valued. She made me feel like she was going to be my friend, regardless if I did Plexus or not, even though I was saying no to her. And so that was very important for me. So my husband and I took a month and we prayed over this, because my husband and I were both, we were living paycheck to paycheck. We love the Lord. And so my husband works for a nonprofit ministry. I was also working for a nonprofit ministry, and we were strapped. Like, I was selling t-shirts on Craigslist for $3. I was going around our neighborhood during trash day, finding things that people were throwing away, like furniture pieces that I could take and refinish them and sell them. I mean, we were very, very tight. So over a course of things happening, my husband and I spent an entire month praying over, do we want to do this? Because y'all, I did not want to do network marketing. I did not want to do Plexus. I would have rather died than put my name on something like this, where I'm like trying to like sell something on social media. That was just not something I felt comfortable with, not something I wanted to do. I wanted to protect our name. But the Lord had given me like this gentle nudge. Even though I said no for a long time, I was still curious. Well, what if? Like, what if this is something that could help our family? What if this is something that could help me to not stand in my closet and cry on Sunday mornings because my clothes do not fit and I'm flubbing over everywhere? What if I could help my husband not be so stressed financially? What if? And so in January of 2017, after fighting it for so long, I felt a peace and I started the business. Now, before I said yes, I got in touch with my sponsor, who I believe most all of you here would have her as your sponsor too, or your upline. Her name is Tamra. I got in touch with her and we talked on the phone for an hour, and I asked her a lot of cold, hard questions like, you just tell me the truth. I need to know, how many people do you talk to a week? I need to know, what is your paycheck? This is what I heard. I heard that you were making $70,000 to $85,000 a month. Is that true? Are you the girl that I grew up with in Arkansas, who you and I both kissed the same guys a lot in college? Are you for real making $85,000 a month? I asked her questions like that. I asked her, why do people fail? Like, if this is so good, like, why don't people do this? I mean, I was asking her a lot of hard questions. And by the way, her answer is yes, she does average $85,000 a month. What? And she's in your upline. So welcome to our team. You're in good hands. Okay, so when I started, I told her, okay, if I'm doing this, I'm for real doing this. I'm not going to dabble. If I'm putting my name on this, I'm going all in. And so my pace was hit the ground running. My pace was, I'm going to get to diamond, which is the top level, and I'm going to get there fast. So my pace was much faster than Hannah and Joanna. So because of that pace being faster, she was sending me stuff a lot faster. You'll hear people say, if you're going to run, I'm going to run with you. If you want to walk, I'll walk with you. So she was like sprinting with me. So what she did for me, take note here. What she did for me was she sent me a video toolbox of all of these different videos, 3-minute, 4-minute videos that explained the products. And at the time, I think we only had like 18 products. Now we have a little bit more, but that was really helpful for me. And you know what? I'll probably repost that video toolbox. We posted it in Rising Jewels a few weeks ago, but I'll probably repost that video toolbox maybe tomorrow morning, so that way you guys can use it and save it to your phone if you would like. But that was really good for me because I was able to build my confidence in the little bit of knowledge that I had with those products. So I would just take notes over every video. And again, they were only like 3 to 5 minutes. So that way I knew a little something about each product and I felt a lot more confident. So the video toolbox. She also gave me a list of people on social media to follow. I'm going to give you a list of a few of the girls that I really love to follow. I would encourage you to write their names down. Joanna and Hannah are also going to do the same thing. But some of the girls that I personally love to follow on social media, Jordan Roddenberry, Roddenberry. And then you'll see these girls here, Joanna Miller and Hannah Richardson. They're both phenomenal posters. Another really great one is Ashley Kinsel, Kintzel. Another one that I really love is Abby Kappa, Abbey, Cappa. And then the last one, I mean, there are tons more that I love, but the last one I'm going to tell you, her name is Marianne, Marianne Anderson. And so Tamra sent me a whole list of people that she thought I would enjoy following. And so she said, I want you to go, and I want you to go check out their Facebooks. And you can click on people's Facebooks, follow, so that way you're still seeing their stuff, even if you're not friends with them. Another quick little tip for you is if you see, so like, let's say I'm looking on Amber Mosier's Facebook and I see a post that I really love, like she's shared a really great Plexus post or whatever, and I really love it. It's resonated with me, and I want to use it as inspiration. I'm not into like copying and pasting. I really do not like that. I think that that really takes away the credibility of your post and the other person's post. So I'm going to use Amber's post as inspiration, but I don't want to forget it, and I don't want to use it right now because Amber just posted this great post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see her post, and you're going to see in the top right-hand corner, there are 3 dots. You click those 3 dots, and the very first option that you see says Save Post. So y'all, I was saving like 14,000 posts a day, whether it was information on the testimonial page about products, or it was business stuff, or if it was posting. So you're going to continue to build that, build like your arsenal of inspiration for you and your posting. So I was following people, getting inspiration on posts. So it's not up to just me trying to come up with some ideas. I was using their posts as ideas. I was training myself with watching the different videos over the products. And then Tamra has a really great team page. All of you should be on our team page. If you're under me, it's Rising Jewels Financial Freedom. If you're not on that page, please ask your upline to add you. If you're on Joanna's team, hers is Team Courageous Dreamers. So you have a team page. That was a huge resource for me whenever I started. Tamara's is called Diamonds in the Making. You're welcome to be on hers too. I just don't want people to get overwhelmed because there tend to be lots of posts. And if you get overwhelmed by a lot of notifications, then I'd prefer for you to be on Rising Jewels. And then as you grow, if you want to go to Tamara's, you can. But I was on her page all the time. In Rising Jewels or in Team Courageous Dreamers, there's a search bar. If you are getting ready to do your first post, you can type first post in that search bar, and that'll pull up a ton of great information about first posting. If it's time for you to buckle up and do a scary thing and send a couple of reach out messages, you can type in the search bar script or reach out messages, and you're going to see a ton of information that will give you some great ideas on how to send messages. The same thing goes with the testimonial pages. If you have somebody that you want to add that you think could benefit because they have IBS, you can add them to the Trust Your Gut page or Stories and Supplements for Joanna's team. And then you use that key, that search bar, and type in IBS, and a ton of stories for IBS will pull up. So that's just a great way for resources and how to research some information that you're looking for. So I dove into her team page. She said to do something, I did it. Even if it seemed really scary, I did it. She said, okay, today's challenge is you're sending out 5 messages to people. So I did it because I had a why. My husband and I sat down, and like I said, we wrote the pro and cons, and then we together collectively said, this is why we're doing this. We know this is unconventional. We know that this is maybe a little weird because we used to make fun of it. So I have to expect that other people might be doing the same thing to me, but I have to hold on to my why. And I think Hannah's going to talk a little bit more about mindset in a minute, so I don't want to steal her thunder, but that is huge. You can have all these resources, you can follow all these people, but if you don't think that you can do this, or you don't have a deep, deep why that is driving you to do this, then it's not going to be worth it. Because the first time that your brother makes fun of you because you got on that Plexus train, are you kidding me? Or your best friend says, yeah, I will never do Plexus. Don't ever talk to me about this. Then if you don't have a deep why, you're like, oh my gosh, everybody hates me. Nobody respects me anymore. I have become one of those girls. And then you just throw in the towel. And it will happen. Maybe not those specific things, but there will be hard things that happen. Oh yeah, or Katie says, or when your sister-in-law deletes you on Facebook, oh, that's not great. That's unfortunate. But the one thing that I hold on to is if I am sharing from my heart because I know what these products have done for me or for my family or for my friends, if you don't yet have a story, if I believe that this can help other people and I'm sharing from my heart, you have nothing to be afraid of. You have nothing to feel ashamed of. Katie had no reason to feel bad that her sister-in-law unfriended her, deleted her on Facebook. Check yourself, of course, and make sure your heart is always in the right place. But if you are sharing from your heart, you have nothing to be ashamed of, because these products, I am telling you, I got in touch with like 5 people before I joined, and they were Plexus ambassadors. And I said, listen, if I join, I'm not joining under you, so you can be totally honest with me. Be totally honest. Like, is this really what people say? Like, you can be honest, because I'm not going to join you. You can be honest. Do you think that this is worth it? And every single person said, yes, this is life-changing. It will change your life, and it will change the lives of other people if you share this. So I've spoken too much, but my action step to all of you guys, you've written down the people to follow, you've written down the team page, diving into those, you've written down like coming up with your deep why. But my action to you guys is to sit down. If you're married, sit down with your spouse. If you're not married, sit down with your journal. And I want you to think long and hard and talk with your spouse. And I want you to write out why you're doing this. What if? And I want you to write out the what ifs. And I want you to hold on to those, because if your why, they say this, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. That's a little dramatic, but you have to have a strong why. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Hannah. Hannah's on my team. She's my sweet friend here from Boise. So Hannah, take it away, sister.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy that you took some time out of your evening to be on here with us, and just hopefully you can walk away with some extra wisdom and inspiration. As Emily said, I'm Hannah. I also live in Boise. I'm currently a Ruby ambassador, and I've been doing Plexus for just over 2 years. So, and as Emily shared, my journey started out a little slower. I simply just posted for about 6 months. I only conversed with people if they reached out to me or were curious. And so the cold messaging stand, like from that perspective, it was like, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going to be pushy. And if you know anything about color personalities, I am yellow and green, but yellow for sure, on just being like, oh, I only want to help people. And like, for some reason, reaching out to someone to me was like invading, like I was overstepping my bounds. And it took a mindset shift for me. And so I'll get there. But I was just dabbling. I had no experience with network marketing. I didn't know what I was doing at all, but I'm a person who just like, I'll share my experience. I'll share what's happening. And I was loving the products, how I was feeling. And I'm a nurse. And so, by trait, like having other people feel this way and helping other people, like I said, I'm a yellow. That was like easy for me to do that, but it didn't get me to gold quite. I was almost there, but not quite, 6 months later. And then there was kind of a mindset shift. So Emily was trying to get me to go to convention. Like, well, I'm not just going to convention for a fun time, like, because there's very little blue in me. I am going to go because that's like, I'm in this and I'm not going anywhere. And like, and so it's just kind of the scary thing on like, am I just going to keep doing this as a hobby, or am I going to actually treat this as a business? Because if I'm going to invest money to go to convention, like I needed to be in a place where I was going to be making that money back and beyond. And so visited with my husband on kind of what we were wanting with this. And that would be the point where I like drew my line in the sand, which you'll hear. And I shifted from just like, okay, I'm going to do the things that all these successful people are doing, and I'm going for it. And so I got over this fear. And I would say the biggest thing for me was self-development. Like I still watched videos all the time, even though I wasn't like totally in this as a business. I still was like soaking in all I could. And there's been a couple things that really shifted. One of them was like, you are simply inviting people. If I send a message saying, hey, are you curious about Plexus? Or have you ever heard of Plexus? Or here's just a little bit of what it's done for me. could this benefit you? Like, that is just a simple question. I'm just asking it, throwing it out there. I have no idea what they're struggling with. I have no idea what they're going through. And so I am like making a present, like I'm just like an invitation here, like, hey, are you curious? And if they say, yeah, I'd like to know more, that then I can engage in a conversation. I'm not just going to vomit Plexus. I'm not going to throw them in a bunch of groups. I'm not going to put them in an event that they never said they wanted to be in, but I'm simply here just putting that invitation out. And so that really was a big perspective shift for me on like, I'm not pushing anything down anyone's throat. I am just like, hey, I have something that can change your life. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to hear about it? And so I joined a accountability group with Emily in January, and I was senior gold. So I jumped from like super silver basically to senior gold in like 4 months time. And so it was this big jump for me. And what changed was my mindset, and then also IPAs, which I didn't even know that word meant, what that was before accountability group, but it's income producing activity. And it's very simple. Like, this business, we can get lost in so much being thrown at us and notifications, all that. But really, it boils down to the simplicity of, are you sending out messages? Are you following up with those people? Because one simple message and one conversation they're not going to push the I'm in button and join you. So the following up like 7 to 12 times. So get that in your head. Those are the key things. The other component is your self-development, and the other thing is your posting. And so the social media posts. So that really is just what this is all about. And then everything else that you can add around it, great. But if you can't, just focus on those things. And if you're doing those things, your business should be moving forward. So that was kind of, I had to have some like belief built in me. I needed to see what this opportunity could do for my family and for our finances. And so as I began to see that vision, I had more buy-in, and I had more grit to go for it. And so then I would say about a year later, another mindset shift happened where I stopped storytelling, which Bob Heilig talks about this. Oh, I gotta hurry. So he talks about how you have a prospect, you have someone that you're messaging, and you can either make up the story of like, oh, they're too good for this, they don't need this, they're already healthy. Or you can say, oh, this person could be like struggling with depression. They could be addicted to their Diet Coke and their sugar, and I have no idea what they're dealing with. And so I'm just going to throw it out there. And so often we just bypass people because we assume they don't need it. So, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. My action point for you is create a list of people. So that was a big thing for me. Instead of sitting down in my 30 minutes to do something, I'm trying to figure out who I was going to message. When I had that list in front of me, it was like go time. I sat down, I saw people in front of me that I was going to reach out to, and it makes it so much easier and you're more efficient with your time. And then the other thing is goal setting. That's really hard for me. That's something I have to work at. But where do you want to be in 3 months? Decide that. And then you have to boil it down to what those action steps are that you're going to be doing on a weekly basis. IPA should be on there for sure. Your posting game plan, and helping develop other people on your team, whether that's on their business or silvers or whatever. So I'm going to pass it on to Joanna so she can wrap it up.
Hey guys, oh my goodness, I love this. And what I love is that we are all so different, but yet we have found success in Plexus. So anyone can do this. So I got started with Plexus because I just wanted to be healthy. And I was just dealing with lots of issues, digestive issues, chronic fatigue, the list goes on. And a friend of mine posted, I was like, you know what? I took it as an answer to prayer because I'd been struggling for a while and I got started. We were dealing with lots of negative bank account at the time, like a lot of times, just struggling with medical debt and all kinds of things. And so I put it on a credit card, and I knew I needed to get my products paid for. So really that's kind of all I wanted in the beginning, was to get my products paid for. I didn't even have Facebook. I saw my friend's Facebook post through my husband's Facebook. So that was like my biggest fear in the beginning was Facebook. Like, I didn't want Facebook. I'm an introvert and I could care less if people but then I've changed a lot. But then I could care less if people knew about my life, and I just had no desire to be posting about it. But I also knew I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't get out a lot. If I was going to make this work, I had to have social media. So that was my biggest fear. And it took me 6 months to go silver. So I started 4.5 years ago. So it took me 6 months to go silver, and I just went emerald in April. So about 4.5 years to emerald from the beginning to now. So that's kind of the timeline of my rank up. And my husband actually told me I would not be successful at this. He was such a hater. And now he's my biggest supporter. So if you have haters in your life, it's okay. You just have to prove them wrong. And like Emily was saying, your why is so important. So let's see. So that's kind of like my story of how I got started. Just wanted to get my products paid for. I was scared of being rejected by people. That was like a big fear. But what I found with all like getting Facebook, with messaging people, and talking about it, like how I kind of pushed past that was just action. Just doing it. Like it's scary, but what they can tell you no, like big deal. And best case scenario, you're going to help change someone's life. So, and just doing action. So what I did is I just did what my uplines did. I was like, you know what? They're successful. They know what they're talking about. And slowly, so once I got my products paid for, my why just kept changing. I was like, you know what? Wow, if I could just make $500 a month, that would be like big money. Like I would have it made. So that was my next goal. And then I hit $500 a month, and I was like, well, okay, if I could hit $1,000 a month, maybe I could actually help us get out of debt instead of going further into debt. And so my why just kept changing, and now we're like so close to being out of debt. Our goal is to be out of debt before our baby comes. We're due with baby number 3 in a couple of months. So that's super exciting. And so just pushing past those fears with action, being coachable, doing what my uplines did. And let's see, I have my notes on my phone, so I'm looking at what I wrote down. But tangible things I did to just to start working my business was I just did something every day. In the beginning, it was like 15 minutes. Like I would watch a training video, I would make a post on Facebook, and I just did something every day, even if it wasn't a ton, but I was consistent with it. I would get on our team page, like our Jewel team page, everything they did. And that's what built a lot of belief in me, because I was seeing them be successful. I was seeing the lives being changed. And that just really kept encouraging me and inspiring me, pushing me to keep going on those hard days when my husband told me I wouldn't be successful, or when my sister-in-law talked behind my back because she thought it was so stupid that I was doing what I was doing, or just things like that. And just working at reaching out to one more person and changing one more life. And so let's see, let me go to my next thing, tangible things. Watch Diamond Docs. I did training videos all the time on YouTube while I was doing dishes, while I was folding laundry, and I loved it because I could multitask, and that just helped so much. And something I wish I would have done differently when I first started was IPA. IPA confused me. I didn't know what it was. But you can learn what you can just type it in the search bar of the team page, and you can learn what it is. And I wish I would have done that every single day and had a system as far as like keeping it organized, like having it a jumbled mess like I did. So like having it organized, doing it consistently, and yeah. So that's kind of my tips for you guys, and just keep going no matter what. Remember your why, and it's just exciting that you're getting started. So I'm gonna pass it back to Emily.
Thank you, Joanna. Okay, so I'm so cheap, I won't upgrade the Zoom. So our Zoom is actually going to stop in 2 minutes. So does anybody have any questions that we can answer quickly before this shuts off? If you don't, if it gets scary, it's okay. You can message your upline, but I'd love for you to ask a question if you do. Okay, so the action points that I left for you guys would be sit down and make a why. And like Joanna said, it will evolve as you continue to grow here. It will change. The next one from Hannah was to make a list of people to reach out to. And again, knowing that you're sharing from your heart, you have no idea what's going on with other people. If they want this, great. If they don't, that's fine. You're not attached to the results. And then goal setting on a weekly basis. And then Joanna, did you do an action point? I can't remember.
Oh, no, action point. Well, people I love to follow, Jennifer Leith, she's a Diamond Ambassador, and Paige Greenway, she is an Emerald Ambassador. I love following them for post inspiration. And go make a Facebook post that scares you, because that is what scared me in the beginning, was putting it out there. But so many people reached out to me and who I didn't even know were struggling because they saw my posts. And so that's such a great way to start.
Yes. So my challenge and my charge to you is get in touch with your upline. Tell them your why after it's been established. Let them know what pace you want to go. Walk, trot, or sprint. And they will walk, trot, or sprint with you. But I promise you, if you do not stop, it will bless your life, your family's life, and you will be an inspiration and bless so many other people. And it is so amazing and so fulfilling. I'm going to go ahead and end the call now so it doesn't just rudely hang up on us. But thank you guys so much for being on here. Again, get in touch with your upline. Let them know which pace you're going. And if you have any questions, thank you guys for being on. We'll talk to you later.